Hey friends, how are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing so well, and welcome back to another thrifty video. Today, I'm taking a look back at the entirety of 2024. It is crazy to think that we're ending this year out, and so I thought it'd be a really interesting video to look back at my year as a full-time reseller. I make reselling content here on YouTube. I make thrift hauls, that sort of thing, but I'm always constantly thrifting and reselling those clothing online for a profit. So I thought it'd be really interesting to look back and see how much money I made reselling clothing online last year. Thrifted clothing, I turned it into profit. And then I'm also going to take you through some of my best sales of the year. I have quite a few here. A lot of them are around $100 or more. And so I thought for anybody else that is wanting to be a reseller or is reselling, I thought this would be helpful information for you guys too, to see what brands, what kinds of items I have been picking up. And hopefully that will help you in your business. So I am going to jump into what I sold, my biggest sales of the year, and hopefully this will help you as we go. So if you guys appreciate the effort I am putting into trying to help you out, then please give today's video a thumbs up and hit subscribe. It would mean the world to me. But let's jump into it, shall we? So in the overview of numbers, I looked at my breakdown and I sold around $50,000 worth of clothing this year. So I did sell some hard goods in there, mostly clothing, shoes, accessories, women's and men's clothing. That is what I mainly focused on, with the majority of my numbers coming from Poshmark. I did sell the most on Poshmark, followed by eBay, then Whatnot, then Mercari, then Depop. So I have a presence on all of those platforms, but my main selling platform is Poshmark still, even though eBay is growing year over year. So that's great. That's great news. And I'm also excited to say too that I have been making hundreds, if not over $1,000 worth of sales on platforms I don't normally list to, with the help of the sponsor of today's video, which is Vendoo. Vendoo's been a faithful partner of mine on my channel, and they really have made it possible for me to exponentially increase my sales numbers. They have allowed me to cross-post to more than one platform. They also take down my items for me when they sell. They really do level up my business. And so all these things that I'm selling on Mercari and Depop and eBay, I wasn't selling a couple of years ago. Poshmark is the only place I was selling, but because I can easily cross-list from one site to another, it has made my life so much easier. And now I list directly into Vendoo, and then I list to all of these different sites. And I've seen all of my numbers increase because of this, which is so worthwhile. I sold over $8,000 worth of merchandise on eBay this past year, which more than paid for my subscription, but also gave me thousands more dollars in profit than I ever would have had if I wouldn't have been using Vendoo. So highly recommend them. If you are in this business, then I feel like it'd be very helpful for you. I do have a link down below, and that will give you 25% off your first month using Vendoo, which I find to be ever so worth it. But thank you again to them for working with me on today's video. Let's jump into my top sales from 2024. I'm really focusing on the unique pieces or brands or styles that did really well for me, but a lot of these are higher price sales. I included a few that were a little bit lower, maybe around $60 or so, just so you guys could see those as well. But I'm gonna try to move pretty quickly through this just so you guys get as much information as possible. So I'm gonna scoot to the side and let's jump into it. Okay. Here we go. There's gonna be quite a bit of sales. I hope you guys love this video. Okay, the first one we're looking at is this Veronica Beard Waldorf ruched sleeve tee, black size extra large. It sold for $60. This was a great sale, but this I wanted to share with you guys because I love selling Veronica Beard. Whenever I find it, it does well for me, but this I think was even just like a shorter sleeve top, but it still sold for $60. It wasn't new with tags. It's just a great brand to know. The next piece is this Orange Theory OT Beat Burn 2.0 workout band in the box. This was a piece I picked up at a garage sale. One of my few kind of hard goods I really found this year that I enjoyed selling and sold really quickly. It sold in, I believe, like a few days for $65. I paid $4 for this at a garage sale. So a $65 sale, that's awesome. And that's sold on eBay. Been loving myself some eBay selling lately. This Patricia Nash floral fabric tote bag with leather handles, I found this in the Goodwill outlet. And so this is something I want to remark on too as we go through this list. A lot of my cost of goods are very low for what I do, which is great. Like, I'm very thankful for that. That's not gonna be the case depending on where you live. Like, I have a low cost of goods because of the area I live in here in Indiana, but some places are gonna be more expensive. And this piece I picked up in the Goodwill outlet, AKA the Goodwill bins, where you dig through bins and then pay by the weight of your cart and not by the item. So it's a really cost-effective way to get inventory. So I paid around probably $2, maybe less for this purse, because my Goodwill outlet is $1.49 per pound. And so this Patricia Nash bag, I found quite a few Patricia Nash bags this year in the bins because people didn't recognize that brand. And this one sold for $68. Another bins pickups. Now, when I talk about the bins from here on out, I'm talking about the Goodwill outlet. This was my first time ever finding a Dale of Norway piece. It's only the second one I've ever seen, and this one was in the bins. It's a size extra, extra large men's Fair Isle sweater. Fair Isle print did so well for me this year. That sold for $70 on eBay. Another bins pickup is this New Attacks pair of Sterling River boots. They were in leather and calf hair in a women's size 9. Those were originally like $200 boots I found in the Goodwill outlet. So it probably, I don't know, my cost of goods that time was probably right around $2 as well. It usually factors out to be around $2, and those sold for $70 as well. Then this New Tags Mystic Longline Flower Buttons cardigan. This was a pickup from another garage sale where they just had so much Mystic and St. John and just like all of these amazing, crazy designer pieces. I paid $4 a piece for those items, and that was $74.99 that sold for. The next piece also came from that same garage sale. Another eBay sale was this St. John Sport Santana wool blend teal cardigan and tank top matching set. Sold for $79.99. Another $80 sale from that garage sale. So good. Now this was a beautiful dress. I wanted to include this. It is this amazing Gunny Sacks dress. And I sold so many Jessica McClintock for Gunny Sacks dresses this year. Things that people were leaving behind because they look kind of like an old prom dress, which a lot of them are or were old prom dresses. But guys, do not sleep on them. Even with that like kind of interesting chiffon-y, more like crinkly kind of fabric, they sold for such good money for me. This was a beautiful yellow tulle, kind of like Belle from Beauty and the Beast kind of dress. I got this at a garage sale. I paid like $2 for this dress and it sold for $80. Such a fun find. This pair of M. Jemmy Greta red leather clogs found at my local Goodwill store really stood out to me as being high quality looking. I love selling clogs. They do really well. That's a good style to know. And they sold for $80. My first time finding this brand. Great brand to know. Might not find it often, but any leather clogs, I'm usually looking them up. Now this pair of shoes, I love selling shoes, guys. This pair of shoes I'd never heard of. Then I realized that they were really nice. They were in the bins, so I only paid a few dollars for these. And they had been left behind for so many rounds. People just had left them behind. But these were a pair of Les Chamoux women's Vierzon jersey lined boot in iconic green, US size 8. And there's also pictures of people like Kate Middleton wearing these boots. Like, I had no idea. Nobody else at the bins had any idea either. Sold for $80. We have a lot of $80 sales in here. Another bins find was this pair of Prada authentic red sandals in a Prada logo theme, and they're a European size 38.5. I could not believe this. Have you guys seen that video where I found all those Prada shoes in the bins? Insane. I can't speak, I don't even know what else to say. Like, I found a pair of Prada shoes in the bins and they sold for $80. I love what I do. It's quite fun. So then the next one was this Tory Burch pair of women's MET strap flat sandals, confetti vacation sandals. I'm pretty sure I also found these in the bins. If I didn't, I got them at a Goodwill for like $7. I have a feeling I got these in the bins. I'd have to look at the picture to know, but I'm fairly confident that was another bins pickup. So $2 for $80 sales. This pair of Mark Nason Rock Lives crosses brown leather boots with dragon zips, men's size 13, interesting shoes. I also sold a couple pairs of Mark Nason boots and shoes this year for really good money. I want to say every piece from Mark Nason will sell for that much money, but their leather pieces really do well. I sold quite a few for over $100 this year, but also I have seen Mark Nason like sneakers at the thrift store and I've left those behind because their comps just weren't as good. But these leather boots sold for $80. Then we have, this is like a lot of designer pieces all at once. And I do not find designer pieces that often, although this list might make it seem like that. A lot of my sales, the bread and butter of my reselling business, are around like $25 to $35 sales. This just happens to be really good sales, so this is not everything I'm selling. But the next piece is a pair of Jimmy Choo calf hair animal print leather pointed toe ballet flats. Got these at a garage sale for $5, and those sold for $85. Next up, a new tags Lafleur Saint Ambrose Jardigan in a black size 2X. Got this at my local Goodwill. I think I paid $5.99 for that, and it sold for $88. Next up, another Jessica McClintock for Gunny Sacks dress. This one was a navy blue one, and this one actually just sold this month, so this is a recent sale. Even when it's not like prom season, I'm still selling these Jessica McClintock for Gunny Sacks dresses. This sold for $90 this month. Next up, this Coach Madison Maggie Mia black leather shoulder bag sold for $90, and that was from another garage sale. I think I paid around $10 for that Coach bag, and you'll see a couple more Coach bags here coming up. Next up, the Jimmy Choo Ginny pointed toe ballerina flats with lace black leather, size 42. The other pair of Jimmy Choos I got at that garage sale sold for $90. Then we have this Diesel wool and alpaca sweater. It was a men's size large, and it was green and black camo. This sold for $95. I got this on Whatnot. I actually used some of my credits and money I had made from selling on Whatnot to buy this, so I didn't have anything really out of pocket to purchase this, and it sold for $95. And it was a good sale. It sold pretty quickly. This pair of Donald Pliner couture shoes were so cool. These calf hair croc leather brown pumps in a size 8 narrow. These sold on eBay to a very happy buyer. I love it when buyers love the pieces that I find or appreciate what I see in a piece. These were spectacular. They were so interesting looking. And I found these in the bins, the Goodwill outlet. And so I paid about $2 for them, and they sold for $99. So now we're getting into the over $100 sales, which there are quite a few here. So very blessed. I feel super, not just proud of myself, but just like blessed beyond measure with what I was able to sell this year. And so I hope too that you are not looking at this video as bragging, because this is not a brag about how good I am. It's more so me just trying to help you guys learn from me so you don't have to work as hard as I did this last year. And so the next piece was this new Tags Elliott Revolve Cassini dress in cadet blue, women's size extra small, sold for $100. Got that at my local Goodwill, and I believe I paid like $8 for that. Then this J. Crew double cloth ladies day coat in teal, women's size 2, excellent use condition. I found 2 of this same type of coat this year, one blue, and I believe one was black. I paid $10 for one, and the other one I got in the bins. I think this teal one I got in the bins. I'm fairly confident, which means I probably paid around $3 for it based on its weight. Sold it for $100. Then this Harley Davidson nylon bomber riding jacket in green and black, size large. This sold quickly and for good money. It sold for $100. I got this in the bins. What I am realizing is I need to go back to the Goodwill outlet. Every time I make one of these videos, I am always shocked by how many of my bins pickups make it into the top sales. Something about digging in those bins, I find amazing pieces. It's a lot of hard work. That's why I'm not putting out a bins video every week. I used to go there so much more often. I live closer to the bins now than I ever have, but it just is so overwhelming, and it is hard on my body. Like, it's hard on my back. It's just like a lot to commit to, but I really just need to do it. And now that it's winter, maybe it'll be better. I don't know. We'll see. I do need to go though. So I got this Harley Davidson riding jacket there for like $3, $5 maybe because of its weight, and it sold for $100. Now this piece is also from the bins, but this is back from when I lived in Maryland a few years ago. I found this Burberry plaid belt in a bag with a Gucci dress that was donated, and I sold both of those pieces. Took the belt a long time to sell, but this Burberry belt finally just sold for $100, I think in November, so not too long ago. Then we have this Sherry Hill sequin silk sweetheart short formal dress in gold, women's size 2, sold it for $100. And I feel like maybe you're seeing a pattern here too of these more like formal dresses selling for great money. there's more to come. Like, those are really what I am loving picking up. I love selling formal dresses. And if you can find good brands for them too, they will make you such good money. Like this one too, Tiffany Designs embroidered formal ball gown in a women's size 24W. Sold it for $100. I got that for $5 at a garage sale. My mom picked that up for me. Then we had this really cool vintage Fendi bag that I found. Fendissime accessory. It was this like nylon shoulder bag. And it was in tan. Sold it for $104.65. So that was in a bundle, but it did great. So very happy to see that one sell for a great amount. I bought that for $5 at Goodwill, which is shocking, but it happened. It was so good. All of these 100+ sales, like I hope you're paying really good attention because these brands, these pieces, not all of these are like designer pieces. Right now, even this next piece is a Nuitags J. Crew piece, but it sold for over $100. So Nuitags J. Crew women's brown teddy Sherpa top coat is a size extra, extra large, sold for $109. This Nuitags Reformation top, this was just a literal white, like gossamer puff sleeve top. It sold for $110. I found that going through and doing an inventory of my bins, making sure everything in my bins was listed and in the right spots. Found that in another Nuitags item, which both sold for good money, but they were just sitting in there, unlisted. And as soon as I listed that Reformation top, it sold within a few days for $110. And I was just sitting on that profit. Now we have this Coach Willow tote bag. This is in Dove Gray, and this I picked up also in the bins. Mind-blowing. It sold for $110. Yep. What a great sale was that. This is a really cool piece, and what an interesting sale amount. I sold this on eBay. It was this really cool vintage Indianapolis Colts. It's one of the Magic Johnson's 90s all over printed t-shirts. It sold for $111.11. So 11111. Don't know how that worked out, but I found that at my local Goodwill for $4.99. So bizarre, but I recognized it was cool looking, did some research, did a reverse image search as I normally do in a Goodwill, and it sold for over $110, $111.11 to be exact. Okay, this pair of UGG boots, again, not like this crazy brand. It's not like this is a Fendi bag, but this was a pair of UGG classic short curly sheepskin cuff Mongolian black suede boots. I picked those up at a garage sale for $5, and they sold on Mercari for $112.49. So good. Another Coach bag that I found in the bins was the Coach baby bag. So it was a black leather diaper bag. Sold it for $115. Whew, this is like making me like have to be like, whoo, these sales are really good. I hope you guys are enjoying this because it's fun to look back and see what sold in the past year. I kind of forget, after I've had quite a bit of time and a lot of video sharing sales with you. It's just kind of fun to look back. This piece, a vintage piece, just a vintage Disney piece. It was this Disney Princess Bradford Exchange two-sided embroidered denim shirt in a size extra large. This was from my personal collection. I had thrifted this when we lived in Maryland. I believe I got it at 2nd Avenue, so like a thrift store out there, kind of like a Savers. I think I paid like $7 for it. It sold for $115 on Mercari, which was awesome. We have these Sorel Kate the Great wedge boots, and they were leather knee-high boots in a size 9. Got those at my local Goodwill for $9. Sold for $125. Crazy. Then another Mark Nason sale. Mark Nason tan suede leather boots in men's size 8.5. Sold for $125. I found those in the bins. So I paid like $3 for those, depending on the weight of them. That one's a little hard to calculate in hindsight, but $125 sale. Another bins find, my friends, is this Mr. Freedom rock and roll shirt. It was a Baribi white Hawaiian shirt, a brand I had never heard of. When I saw the tag, I thought it looked expensive, did a little bit of research in the bins, and holy cow, was I so thankful I did. This sold for $150 on my eBay. This was just like a Hawaiian t-shirt, but this brand, Mr. Freedom, does not play around. That is a great brand. If you ever see that, grab it. You need it. Like, that was an amazing sale. Another bins find. This is going a different way than I expected. Like, I made this whole list for you guys, didn't think about where I got these pieces, but another bins find. That's crazy. Was this pair of Nike Dunk Low orange golf sneakers. These I found in the bins. They were sitting there for so long. Nobody wanted them. And then I grabbed them, did a reverse image search, and realized that these orange golf shoes were apparently sought after. And this actually sold in eBay's international shipping program. And these sold for $150. And I believe they went to, I think, the Philippines or Hong Kong or somewhere in that part of the world. So cool. So interesting. A men's size 10.5 sold so well. Then we had the pair of Manolo Blahniks that I found more recently at Goodwill. Just found a pair of Jimmy Choo heels and a pair of Manolo Blahnik heels, both for $7.99 or something. It might have been $6.99. Whatever it was crazy. And they sold for $160. Just finished that sale. I don't know, have I even shown that sale with you guys? Was that this month? I think that sold this month. Yeah. So you'll see that hopefully soon, but crazy sale. A great sale from last month was this new Tags Christopher Esber deconstructed knit top in chocolate marl, size small. Bought this on Whatnot. I paid $50, again, using money I had made selling on Whatnot and using credits. And so I'll say the cost was $50, not all of that came out of pocket, but it sold for $160. So I still made like $100 of net profit from that. Then we're at my final top four sales from 2024. And we're already over $160. So we're doing great, especially since most of these items, I didn't do anything from liquidation. It's just not my jam. I did all of this from searching on my own, or people have given me items, but a lot of this is me going out and searching. So this next one was this new Tags Marc Jacobs large Spring Street tote canvas bag. Got this at a garage sale and it sold for $170. I believe I paid $20 for that. Like, I thought that was a lot at the time. Like, I was like, I don't know if this will sell for enough. Sold it for $170, so made over $100 again on that. Then a really fun find. This sold within like a day or two. This new Tags Alpenrock Kids Fleece Jacket. It was a women's size 4, but it was brand spanking new. Found it at my local Goodwill, and then it sold for $180 in one day. So that's another thing, like some of these pieces sold so fast and for so much money, like that's crazy. But Alpenrock, great brand to know. I had never heard of it and now I am like gushing about this brand. Like I would love to find it again. Then this vintage 1970s Gunny Sacks emerald green off the shoulder prom dress in a size 3. There you go, another Jessica McClintock Gunny Sacks dress. Not even the prairie style dresses that can do so well and sell for hundreds of dollars. Just a normal Gunny Sacks dress, which I had actually seen modeled on somebody from Urban Outfitters, so I was able to use some of their stock photos, and that sold for $185. Whew. Anybody else need to like massage their jaw, like their cheekbones from smiling? Like, is it just me? I don't know. But that was a really cool find too. Guess where I found that? The bins. I paid $2 for that. That is such a good find. And then my best sale, I believe this is the highest sale, the highest thing I sold in 2024 for the most money, was this pair of rare Bunker 90s platform rave leather boots in black and white, men's size 10. They sold for $200. And I bought those at the Goodwill outlet. Love that. I love the outlet. Okay, I am feeling very, very inspired to go thrifting at the bins. Sold it for $200. Those were from the bins, so I bet they were kind of more heavy, so maybe like $5 is what I paid for those in the bins because they were purchased by the weight, $1.49 per pound. Not very pricey, and they sold for $200. So those are all of my finds from the year that sold for a lot of money, a lot of interesting brands, a lot of interesting styles throughout this. Things I'd be looking for again in the future are unique pieces and pieces that are leather, pieces that are part of vintage collaborations like Jessica McClintock for Gunny Sacks. That turned up so many times in this list, as well as some really nice like leather shoes like the Mark Nasons, the Manolo Blahniks, the Bunker platform boots. There are so many interesting pieces in this list, and so I hope that helped you a little bit, gave you guys a little glimpse of some things that could sell well for you as well as a glimpse into my business too, because I made in total right around $50,000 worth of sales on all these different platforms. And obviously, that's not the only thing I am doing. I'm also filming YouTube videos, working with sponsors, and I'm, working with all of these other things too. And so between selling and making videos and trying to help other people be able to sell well, I feel really like I accomplished a lot this year. And so I'm feeling proud of myself. And I'm hopeful that this will help you guys too even more. And I hope to keep on being able to do this and to bring you guys this kind of content. And I know that maybe my sales don't seem like very much to some of you. Maybe they seem like a lot to some of you too. And I know I could sell more if I had an assistant or if I didn't make a YouTube, but I don't know if I would feel fulfilled doing that. I feel like being just a one-woman show with help from my family and then being able to bring you guys videos is really fulfilling to me. And so, yeah, hopefully this was super fun for you to watch. And if you enjoyed it, I would hope you would consider hitting that subscribe button and sticking around for more. And thank you again to Vendu for working with me on today's video, but also just working with me throughout this entire year. They are one of the things I was most thankful for in my business for this last year. They've always been supporting me and wanting to work with me. And that means a lot to me as a content creator. Thank you guys again for helping support the sponsors of my videos. If you guys do want to try out using Vendu, use my link. That will also help to show them that partnering with me is worth it for them. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And until the next video, bye.